Hey everybody, movie reviewer next door here, and I'm back with another review. This time I'm starting another series, and it is the Underworld series. And I have this really nice steelbook here, so I can actually watch all of them on discs. They all have their own discs, which is nice. I think I got it for about 25 bucks, which is not bad. Cool looking steelbook. I love the art on the front. But yeah, this is an action horror film from 2003, directed by Len Wiseman, and it stars Kate Beckinsale, Scott Speedman, Michael Sheen, Shane Broley, Bill Nighy, and Sophia Myles. In this film, vampires and werewolves have waged a nocturnal war against each other for centuries, but all bets are off when a female vampire warrior named Celine, who's famous for her strength and werewolf hunting prowess, becomes smitten with a peace-loving male werewolf, Michael, who wants to end the war. Yeah. So, what did I think of Underworld? Well, I don't think it's perfect. I do think it is a good film. It does have a few issues, though, um, that keep it from being like peak what it could have been. But let me get to the cast. Kate Beckinsale plays Celine. She's a death dealer, basically a hit woman for the vampires. She is also a vampire. Kate Beckinsale, I've liked her in other kind of badass female roles like Jolt. Um, she was also in Vacancy, not a badass female role, but I liked her in Vacancy. Stonehurst Asylum, I really liked her character in that, and I really liked that film. Um, but yeah, I've always enjoyed her as an actress, and I think she works in this type of role very well. Scott Speedman plays Michael Corvin. He's a nursing student or a medical student. I've never been that impressed with this guy. He was also in The Strangers. I've never really cared for him. He's not the worst thing ever, but very unmemorable. I don't really. He's just one of those actors that's kind of like there, Like again, he's not that interesting, and a lot of his emotions don't really come through that well. Michael Sheen plays Lucian. He's the head of the werewolf clan. Uh, I really like Michael Sheen in this role. I think he is menacing. I think he's an interesting character to have in this type of film. Uh, like how he plays it is a lot of fun. Uh, Shane Broley plays Craven, who's basically the leader of the vampires because Victor is asleep. Um, Shane Broley is one of the things that brings this film down. His acting sucks. He is fighting his Irish accent the entire film. Mm. And it feels like he's doing a mixture of American and Irish, and it really some type of American accent and Irish, but it just does not work. Um, and I've always hated his character and how he plays it. Bill Nighy plays Victor, an elder vampire that becomes awakened too early. Bill Nighy is a great actor. He plays this role. He is having fun playing this role. He's kind of chewing up the scenery in a fun way. I enjoy him. And Sophia Myles plays Erica, who's a vampire who's trying to woo Craven so that she can be the queen. Uh, she's fine. I enjoyed her, I guess. But yeah, here's the thing. I feel like this film, more than being like, I can call it an action film in a way, but it also, I feel like this was destined to be like a franchise starter. This is clearly not a single film because at the end there's a lead into what the second film's going to be about, which I still haven't seen Evolution. I'm going to be watching the sequels for the first time ever, but um, this is clearly not meant to be a singular film, which might be why it doesn't have as much action as I'm guessing the later films do. The action here is still well done though. It's kind of stylish, like not super flippy, not super John Woo, but very clear influence from that. Maybe even Equilibrium, which came out I think the year before this, which I'm surprised more people don't mention other films being influenced by Equilibrium, but a lot of films copy the absolute fuck out of Equilibrium. But um the action here is pretty fun, pretty it's not like super violent. This film does feel like it tries to hold back from a lot of violent moments. Uh the most violence I really noticed in this was a character getting bladed things getting taken out of their skin near the beginning of the film. A couple gunshots that were like kind of bloody, I guess. And a bit where Victor punches a guy and like blood kind of goes everywhere. I guess that's the most brutal thing that happens in the film. But it does seem like a kind of safe R rating. Um, Hopefully the second film remedies that. I did watch the unrated version. That is the Blu-ray I have is the unrated extended cut, and that version of the film is 2 hours and 15 minutes, and the film is usually an hour or 2 hours and 2 minutes. And I don't know what was what, who played what part, like, or what parts were in the original and what parts are in the extended cut. But one of my well, I guess I'll go ahead with the good things. I really like Kate Beckinsale as Celine. I think she is perfect casting for this character. Um, I've always enjoyed her. Uh, and I think it's very obvious the amount of hard work that went into her training for this role. Uh, the the constant not blinking during shooting while shooting during gunfights, I think shows a very good attention to detail that she is an actual like badass. It makes it feel more real. Like in the Matrix films, one of the reasons that the actors are wearing sunglasses isn't just to look cool or product placement for Ray-Bans or whatever. It's covering the fact that they are blinking whenever they're shooting the guns because the actors are kind of inexperienced with guns. Kate Beckinsale trained heavily for this film with guns and everything, and throughout most of the gunfights, she isn't blinking, which is a signal that she's been training pretty fucking hard. And people who shoot guns constantly, movies or recreational otherwise, tend to do this. So I like that detail. I think it sticks out a lot in a good way. Um, I like the whole Lycan vampire blood feud kind of thing. I think that's interesting. The fact that one side has the ammunition that basically just kills them. Like the Lycans have this like ultraviolet ammunition, and I get it. There's gun people that are going to be like, that's not realistic. You need a primer or whatever. It doesn't matter. This is not a realistic story. You have the one side that has the ultraviolet ammunition, and the one side that has the silver nitrate, I think, ammunition. And I think that's a really cool detail. Um, I again, I like the villain who the villain turns out to be. I think was a good twist, well done. Um, there's some gorgeous locations in this film. The vampire mansion is a gorgeous like setting. They probably just had this mansion because this movie did not have a huge budget. It was a $22 million budget. And for what they're trying to do, a lot of movies that are like 70 million budget can't get up to this level of, craft. And this film looks really good. Like it's a very visually striking movie. And I can kind of see why people like Roger Ebert really enjoyed it. because Ebert and Roper, I think, gave this two thumbs up, which you'd usually think, huh, weird. This is kind of like the same as the Resident Evil movies that were coming out at this time, but it really isn't. But still, I really like the setting and all that and how the film shot and everything. A very good looking film. And um what else did I write down? I like that this film, even though it's clearly going for action horror, it still has quite a few horror elements. Like, not even jumpers. You have atmospheres set up at times, which is something that was kind of missing from the Resident Evil movie, from what I remember. So definitely nice to see that. And but yeah, I do have to talk about some things. Oh yeah, yep. I almost forgot. The score from Paul Haslinger, very nice. I really liked it. Fit the setting very well. But yeah, some of the things, some of the acting again, Scott Speedman, very boring wooden board acting. Um, Shane Broley is the worst offender. I have not seen him in really anything else, but him here is rough to watch. Uh, the the frickin' I know this is a thing that a lot of movies do. The love story between Celine and Michael, I just don't buy. It goes too quick. And with a film that's 2.25 hours, I know unrated extended cut, they could have added some more scenes between them to make it feel like they are into each other. But really, the most that happens is Michael saves Celine's life at one point, and I guess that's enough for her to be like, "I'm in love with you," and it just kind of feels a little rushed for sure. Um, kind of in the same way Crow City of Angels did that with uh Vincent Perez's character and Mia Kirshner's character. It just felt kind of odd. Um, I do think there's a pacing issue with the film. Certain dialogue scenes seem to run a bit too long. Uh, Especially the scene with Victor and the scientist. Like, I was like, okay, get to the point. We get it. You're showing there's a lot of flashbacks, I will say. The slow-mo in this film, I do like the slow-mo in some of the action scenes, but they do use slow-mo quite often. And you need to know how, if you're gonna do like John Woo style action or John Woo like stylized action, you have to know when to use slow-mo for the impactful moments. You can't just have an entire action scene be in slow-mo. So definitely a pacing issue for sure. I know it's the unrated extended cut. That's what the director wanted though. And I kind of wish, again, I wish was more between Celine and Michael. Um, some of the CGI, the creature effects, when they're practical, look pretty fucking good. I like the practical werewolves or the practical lichens. I like that. Some of the CGI aged not that great. The CGI whenever you see like a character get bit and then like it's going through their body and whatever, or the bit where Victor is brought back to life, you go like the camera goes into his mouth and you see the stuff inside. That looks fucking bad. Uh, with Michael when he transforms, it that looks fucking bad too. Um, and the sound effects at times are very stock. You hear the like stock like character getting like sliced open sound when it's like muscles moving, and I'm like, that's not a good sound effect. There's a lot of weird sound effects in this film. It happens with the Saw series too. Uh, at least this film doesn't do the whole like every time a gun is shown moving on screen, it's like like the cocking sound effect, but still, I still enjoy the film. I just hope that the sequels fix up the pacing issue and it's a bit more like action horror rather than kind of. Again, I don't think the film is super slow, but the the ending starts like a quarter from the end of the film, and it does take a bit to get to where it should be going. But yeah, I still enjoy the film, and I hope to enjoy the rest of the sequels, at least to an extent. But yeah, that was my review of Underworld. I was about to, that was my review of Underworld. If you've seen the film, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. If you have any recommendations, put them down there as well. And movie reviewer next door.